Bonfires are the main checkpoints found within the Dark Souls games. They consist of a coiled sword set atop a flaming pile of ash and bones, a very distinct and easy to interpret appearance. They are primarily used for resting at, to set your spawn and refill your health and flasks. Warping between bonfires is also an important feature, but it's not available in DS1 specifically until further into the game. The Sites of Grace in Elden Ring basically serve the same function, but have a more abstract design, consisting of a mound with a glowing wisp floating above it. Despite that, you can still tell the Grace is some sort of in-universe magic, even if you're not familiar with what it is exactly. Bloodborne and Demon Souls have slightly different checkpoints that cannot be rested at and instead are solely used to transport the player to the hub world. The lamps in Bloodborne are, lamps, and the Archstones in Demon Souls appear to be a sword in a green stone. But have you ever actually looked at the stone closely? The stone has some sort of weird face with two eyes and a protrusion with tusks. It kind of looks like an elephant. This is pretty different to the other checkpoints, which all have immediately easy to interpret designs. There is a very deliberate effort to make the Archstone resemble something, but if you don't know what it's referencing, then you'll be pretty confused why the stone has an elephant face on it. So, what is it referencing? Well, it seems to resemble a yokai in Japanese mythology known as a Baku. I am not an expert in yokai or Japanese mythology, so I apologize if I'm completely off track with what I'm talking about. A Baku is described as a creature which has the head of an elephant, eyes of a rhinoceros, legs of a tiger, and the tail of an ox. Obviously only the head is shown here, so while we can't be 100% certain it's supposed to represent a Baku, it does seem to be the answer that makes the most sense, at least to me. These creatures are described to feed on dreams, usually feeding on bad dreams and nightmares. Because of this, they are usually depicted as symbols of safety and protection. Their presence thought to ward off evil spirits and keep bad dreams at bay. This would explain the appearance of the Archstones. They are your link to the Nexus, which is your home base where you can level up and replenish your supplies in safety, protected from the demons outside. Later Souls-1 games would also design their checkpoints as places of safety and protection, but unlike the Archstones, they have much clearer symbolism. The Archstones require knowledge of Japanese folklore to understand what they mean, which could make their appearance very confusing to those who aren't aware of what a Baku is. I know I was very confused at first when I saw this weird elephant head thing while looking through some of the models. The sword in its head is most likely to connect the design to the Nexus with the extra parts added to the model. The base model is that of the regular short sword with added circles and rhombuses. It's also possible the Baku was chosen not just because it's a symbol of protection, but also because of its ties to dreams. The Nexus was built to contain the Old One, and our goal is specifically to lull it back to its slumber, with the help of the Candle Maiden. In a way, the Nexus is the protector of the Old One while it sleeps, similar to how Bakus are the protectors of humans while they sleep. The Archstones being Baku heads and connecting directly to the Nexus could serve as a double meaning, as protection for the player character from the demons, as well as protection for the Old One from the outside world. Whether or not that was what they were going for, I can't say for certain, but it's fun to discuss and speculate what meanings FromSoft intended with their unique way of environmental storytelling.